You just pulled away from the gas station after filling up your tank, and suddenly your engine starts violently stalling out at stoplights and completely guzzling fuel like there is a hole in your gas tank. When you plug in your diagnostic scanner and find code P0178, your engine control module is telling you that the fuel composition sensor circuit is suffering from a low voltage input. If you drive a modern flex fuel vehicle, you have a brilliant little sensor mounted in your fuel line that constantly drinks a sample of your gasoline to measure exactly how much ethanol is mixed in. Ethanol burns completely differently than standard gasoline, so the engine computer desperately needs this information to adjust the fuel injector pulse width and the ignition timing on the fly. When this sensor circuit drops to an abnormally low voltage, the computer becomes completely blind to what kind of fuel it is actually burning, forcing it to guess the air-to-fuel ratio, which absolutely ruins your engine performance. Before you start ripping into the electrical harness, take a step back and check the absolute simplest thing first, which is your gas cap. A loose or faulty gas cap can sometimes introduce enough moisture or pressure issues to mess with the fuel system logic. You also have to consider the possibility that you just pumped a tank full of heavily contaminated fuel or water, which will instantly throw the sensor readings into pure chaos. If the fuel is good, you need to get under the vehicle and carefully inspect the sensor wiring. Because these sensors are mounted underneath the car near the fuel lines, they get blasted by rocks, road debris, and deep water puddles. Grab your digital multimeter and check for a solid ground reading of 0 volts, and a steady power supply of either 5 volts or 12 volts depending on your specific vehicle manufacturer. If the power and ground are perfect but the signal wire is basically dead, the internal electronics of that fuel composition sensor have failed and it is time to swap it out so your engine can finally understand what it is trying to digest.